Super Awesome Podcast.
Welcome into the Super Awesome Podcast. I am
Brought to-
Dog Sidious. You are Captain Vader
Captain Vader, what's good?
and Darth Bread.
That's me.
And today we're going to be going over episode 3
Brought
of
to
the
you by-
Acolyte.
Apple juice.
Yes. Apple juice. And yeah, episode 3 of the Acolyte. Pick a Destiny or whatever you said the episode's called.
Episode
Just
3.
Destiny.
That's just called Destiny. Destiny's Child.
Bread, you want to take it away? You want to go after it?
You're gonna take the lead on this episode 3 of the Acolyte.
Yeah, I sure am.
All right, that'll be great, Matthew.
So we're gonna jump in.
Jump in. Is that what we're gonna do?
Sometimes words escape my
what
mind.
an embarrassment.
All right, let's jump right into it.
So anyway, we jump right into it with Osha. Sorry.
OSHA.
In May's home world, Brendock. Osha is using force on a moth thing, and then when May comes and does it, she gets pissed off about it all of a sudden. Then
A lot of sibling fucking hatred in this one for some reason.
a real yin and yang, dark side and Jedi type thing going on here.
Yeah.
They get scolded, and a young Master Soul is in the background lurking around. This is when we meet their mom.
Lady Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, that is we meet what's her name? Mother Coral, the Darth
Sure.
Maul lady, Mother Coral. But this is when we meet their mom, Mother.
Their
Anyessa?
moms,
Anyessa.
plural.
True. We meet their mom. She's the leader of the witches coven. I think that's what it's called. Witches.
Yeah, it's
They're just witches, but I
coven.
think it's called the witches coven. And then this is where she proceeds to train both Osha and May, and they are caught not listening, and she pretty much abuses them and pushes them down with the force real hard.
Well, she's training them.
Yeah. But she gets pissed off. They're not listening. And
That's
Osha
right.
doesn't want to ascend to become a witch. And she also just wants to leave and explore. She, unlike May, who wants to ascend.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to break off.
But May's being a dick this whole time.
She sure is.
They're like fighting and shit, and OSHA's like, I don't necessarily want to do all this witchy stuff. And May's like, you got to. And she's like, but why?
Yeah, I wrote May seems as though she was always an asshole.
Yeah, she seems kind of a dick.
But
Yeah.
I gotta say, I gotta bring it up. I got to. Sorry, Matthew, but I had a large eye roll in the City of Women. Like before they announced like it was like witches or whatever. I was just like, oh no, it's like this is what we're doing.
Also, May and OSHA, there's no father, because so they're kind of like Anakin or twinsy Jesus or something. There's no father. They just got
Yeah.
two moms or something.
Yeah. So
And then, later on, eventually, one of the moms like, I carried them, the Darth Maul mom. I carried them. And then whatever the fucking other mom is like, well, I created them. I'm like, how the fuck did you create them? What, with some magic dust?
We're gonna have to find out.
Dust?
Are we all fucking up?
I can't speak English.
yeah.
I'm joping over words. I don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna keep fucking with
Are
that.
you for real?
But yeah, this episode. Okay, so the first two left me with a little bit of hope. This one, I was like, yeah, this is way more Disney.
Yeah, it's the dreaded origin story episode that happens. But
Yeah.
we got filled in on some things that happens, and I also have some of my some things debunked. Like I kind of thought originally that maybe Osa and May would flip, like one, how May is the bad guy. I thought they might flip at the end of the series, but I don't think that's going to happen now with what happened in this episode and May being fucking psychotic
Yeah,
and,
just a
and
dick.
arsonist.
Yeah.
But yeah, So I guess we'll just jump into the next part. This
Yeah,
is
might as
where
well. There's not
we
too
have
much meat.
yeah, there's not a lot, but the witch scene where they're doing their little chant, the
I thought
whole
that shit was cheesy.
it was
Yeah. One of them's like, oh, wow, or whatever
Yeah,
the
right.
fuck. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't remember their little chant that they did. Something
It's
about
like
one,
it's two
two
is
is
one,
better.
or one is or
The power of many
one.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's something about being a
Power of
bunch
one,
and then
power of
being
two,
one at the
power of
same
many. I
time.
don't know.
Yeah, their little chant was goofy. But yeah, so this is where May ascends, and then as Osha is getting ready to ascend, it gets interrupted by the Jedi arriving, which it's Jedi young versions of Jedi Master Soul, Kalnaka, the Jedi Wookiee, and Dara
Which I don't
Journey
think
through
the
Pictures,
soul.
and Torben.
I don't think he looked way younger. Like they just like made his hair shorter.
It just cut his hair.
He didn't look like that much younger.
That works for some people. I did want to bring up something that I was thinking about. So I don't even remember if you got into it. So they're like a part of this, like, are they like a dark side enthusiasts? I don't
No,
really.
I
they're
think
like
they're their own
they're,
thing,
it's
but
like
they're
their
viewed as
own
dark.
thing.
So they're viewed as
You
dark,
need to
but
play Jedi Fallen Order so then you can get with the weird witchy fucking.
okay.
I think they
They're-
just keep to themselves. They're kind of like the North Korea of dark side.
What?
All right. Well,
Them's
I was
fighting words over there.
no, I was just gonna say, so if this is like the golden era of the what do they call it, the
High Republic.
high republic, yeah, where like force users are pretty much doing their own thing and exploring, everybody seems like pretty open.
Yeah.
It seems
Sexually.
like you could say that. But no, just like everybody seems like open to everybody exploring the force, or however, everybody's doing their own thing. So like for these people to be so oppressed and just
Yeah, no, they're like
feels that like had a weird context for me, I guess. I didn't really understand why they were being.
yeah, who's oppressing you? Is it the
Yeah.
Jedi? Is it who
I guess
the
it
fuck
just
could
it
it
didn't
be?
yeah, it didn't align with like how I envision the timeline, I suppose, with the High
Yeah,
Republic.
it doesn't make any sense.
I guess there might also be some lore that we're not
Yeah,
too
I know,
Yeah,
we're
familiar
just-
with.
I'm sure there's shit that we don't know.
We're average fanboys, but still, that was just one thought that I had going on in my head while I was watching it.
But this is weird. So as the Jedi arrive,
Wait, can I ask one thing? Like I
mhm.
said, the Darth Maul lady, she's really light skinned. Is there two different type of Darth Mauls? Because regular Darth Maul, he's like really dark with the red. You know what I mean? He's still got the horns and
I
everything.
think he's got tattoos.
You have tattoos,
I think so.
Are they
But I
tattoos
also
or
think
are part of him?
or is
I
he
think
from
that
like a
the,
closer
no,
to
there's
the
like a
equator
thing. I
type
I
situation?
played one of like the old Republic computer games very briefly, and I think it's like, I don't know, if you're like a Sith, you're red, and if you're
Or
a
is she an
Jedi, you're like
albino Darth
lighter.
Maul?
I have no idea, man. You're asking the wrong guy.
I don't know. Just a side,
Perhaps.
yeah, question. I don't know. Darth Maul. He seems a lot darker than all the Darth Maul lady.
This is what we do here at the Super Awesome Podcast. Those to you are new.
Yeah, if you wanted information about like the show and what we think the story's about, no, I'm just gonna talk about how characters fucking appear. I
We
think in
do
the
a real
last one,
deep dive.
the last one I talked about people's hair more than the fucking story. I'm like, that dude's hair is stupid.
But-
Go on, Matthew.
Man,
wanted to
would
say-
you fucking spit it out?
I'm trying. If you just shut your mouth for 5 seconds. God, you're the worst.
Late
anyway.
night podcast.
Late night, 11:30 p.m. podcast. But so this is when the Jedi arrive at the witches thing. And for some reason, Master Soul, Jedi Soul at this point, I don't think he's a master quite yet at this point in time. He realizes that Osha may have, I think more just Osha. He's all about Osha for some reason. He's drawn to her. I don't know. Is that how that works with like Padawans? Like,
You probably could. But No, May's being a dick the whole time, and Osha shows interest, like in Jedi stuff. You know what I mean? She's like into it, and he's like, "Oh, she could be." They showed up there for a reason. They got force sensitive children, and for some reason, the Jedi always know that. How do they? I don't know how they know. They just, I guess, sense it.
The
Oh,
thing
yeah.
from the Jedi Fallen Order game, maybe.
I was
Oh,
gonna
no,
ask like
yeah.
what the Jedi were doing there in the first place. I'm hoping
Yeah,
that
they kind of
gets
just crashed their
explained.
party.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like,
No,
"Wait a
they're
minute."
there. They're there because they were told that they were training children in the witch's place, which
Oh,
is
did that
not
go?
allowed.
Did that
I
go
will
right over
say
my
the
head?
witches lied. They're like, "We think you're training children," and the witches are like, "There are no children here," or whatever accent
Yeah,
you want
that
to do.
They
was.
don't want them to be taken.
They didn't want to be taken, but they also just lied to these
They were
Jedi's.
like, no children here. 5 seconds later, all right, there were children here,
Here's 2 children.
and they're like, all right, well, we're gonna make them test, and they're like, okay. Like there's no like I feel like I definitely felt like there should have been more
No, the
that
whole
took place.
episode, if in my opinion, episode was garbage.
Oh, well, I'll get into my wrap up when you're done explaining what happens in the episode.
Oh.
Go on, Matthew.
I just think I think from start to finish it was not good.
Darth Bread.
But
Darth
this is where Osha wants to test if she can become a Jedi Padawan because that's what Master Soul wanted, and they agree to give Osha away at a later time, and they want May to be there too. And I was going to bring that up, but we already brought it up. They this is where we meet with their mom again, and they tell the sisters to purposefully fail the test, and Osha reluctantly agrees to do so.
Yeah.
very very poorly.
Yes.
Yeah, she can't lie.
Then we jump to the Jedi test at their ship, and they have Osha like look at these images or behind a screen. Like she can't see the images, but she has to like I guess use the Force to know what these images are, and she purposely guesses the images wrong. And Soul knows right away that she's doing that on purpose. So, and she admits that she wants to be a Jedi after some Jedi soul convincing. It's like you must be brave.
Maybe it was soul searching.
You son of a bitch. But after we get done with it, after Soul tells her, hey, have the courage to be who you are, make your own decisions.
Yeah.
This is when Osha tells her mom that she did not lie about on the test. And then May gets all mad and said, you lied to me. She storms off. And then Mother Aniesa tells Osha it's okay. She can pull the thread and make her own decision.
Oh yeah, that's a thing with those the witch bitches is that they got their own kind of their own like they're like, yeah, some people might call it the force or whatever, but they call it like the thread.
Yeah.
You pull the thread this away or that away, and the thread does whatever it does. You can make a blanket out of the thread. You can do whatever with the thread. I bees in the thread. You know what I'm saying? It's like all kind of shit that you can do
All
with
right.
the thread.
It's reminiscent to I don't know if it's Greek or Roman mythology, but those ladies that hold your thread of your like life.
I know what
You've
you're
seen
talking about.
Hercules, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't
What
think
maybe
of
Disney?
the
The other
Your
Disney?
inspiration from that.
It's my soul. Eric was on a roll. Sorry, go on.
I can't even remember. I
The
haven't seen that.
oracles.
Yeah, the oracles. I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
similar to those kind of.
Oh. Well, that's bullshit. That's not Star Wars.
Well, I
They're just
mean,
gonna pull some shit. Ugh.
what came
I didn't
first?
like this episode. The chicken or the egg? Who gives a shit? They're both
Well, I
delicious.
guess one's in Greek and Roman, so it
Both
came a long time
delicious.
ago.
They're both delicious.
Well, it depends on how you cook the egg.
We're not gonna get into it. Brendan, anything else go on in this episode?
This is so we have May and Osha meet again as Osha's getting ready to leave, and then May's like, "I won't let you leave. I'll kill you."
Yes, her sister's like, "I'll fucking kill you." It's like that
I was like,
escalated
oh,
quickly.
yeah, 0 to 100 on that. And this is when she takes the book. I don't know if the book had any significance that we were supposed to know about. Did I miss something? She took like her triangle shaped like journal.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
it
didn't
was.
know what the fuck that was about. She burned the
Yeah.
book.
The only thing I
No
remember
idea.
is that she has said something about like she keeps it a secret because she wants her own identity. So she like wants to do shit outside of May.
Yeah.
So I don't know if May looked at that as like, this evil thing to her, like this anti-May thing. So she took it and burned it. And then apparently that burned down the whole mountain.
And then burned down everything.
That tiny little flame burned the whole mountain.
That was another thing. I'm like, this fucking 10-year-old or whatever she is. What are they? Probably like 10. No, they're probably, I don't know.
I'd say 12 maybe.
12. Yeah.
Which is too old to begin the training. Too old.
Too old. He is too old. That was my Yoda. But either way,
Don't ever do it again.
oh God, I quit the podcast.
All right.
But either way,
It's been a good ride.
no, she started the fire or whatever, and then like they go to like all of them are dead in a pile or whatever. They're just all laid dead all over the floor. I'm like, they're not on fire.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that in just a second.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm like, how they all fucking die all of a sudden? They just all had heart attacks.
We need to figure that out.
Yeah, I guess maybe more reason to watch the show, right?
Right, and listen to this podcast.
Super awesome podcast.
Please.
OSHA escapes her fire prison.
I can't wait
This
until
is
we
where-
find the next word you fuck up.
OSHA and May meet on like this broken walkway, and this is where we see the real yin and yang of their relationship. And one's on the dark side, and one's a Jedi. And this is where the thing collapses, and May falls into the depths of the dark side. That's how I viewed it. And OSHA is saved by Master Soul. All the witches are dead, and to me, that implied the Jedi were to blame because they're not dead from the fire or breathing in the smoke or anything. So I'm assuming they got chopped down by the Jedi.
Maybe.
And we get back to the ship, and Osha's recovering. She wakes up. Master Soul tells Osha what happened, telling her that May destroyed everything. So he pretty much blamed May for everything. And that was the end of the episode.
So I did write that I'm interested to see how much of a role the Jedi had to play in that. Because there's no way.
Yeah. What if the twist is that Soul was just like, I'm killing all these fucking bitches and
next thing I wrote was, if they make me hate Soul, by God.
Yeah, that'd be fucking really lame. If
Uh,
Soul's like this big bad guy the whole time and May's like, I don't know, this like weird savior or
I
something.
still think May is an asshole.
May
but like,
sucks.
possibility that these Jedi could also be assholes.
You can't tell me Chewbacca Jedi's a bad guy.
I can't understand what he's saying, so time will tell.
He goes, I can't do it. God
No,
damn.
I was gonna
Can
say-
either of y'all? Can you do it? Oh, I can't do a fucking Chewbacca noise. Damn it.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, just real quick. I think so. Soul saves Osha to become a Jedi. I think who's to blame is maybe the Sith or whoever the Sith guy is was looking for a new apprentice. And he came to the witch's place to get May, and he saved her from fall. I mean, obviously she got saved somehow.
Well, I
survived.
think maybe that Sith guy killed all those witches.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what
Oh,
I'm
is that what
implying.
you're
The only
saying?
reason
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
not thinking that is because Homeboy said, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting 10 years to off myself. Thank you for this poison."
It's true.
So clearly he's guilty for something.
I don't think they just would have straight up killed them to get the girls. It seemed like
I
they
know
were
that's why
all
I
out.
didn't
Well,
say
I mean,
that. I said
obviously, May
I'm
did start
interested
the
to
fire.
see.
No, I know.
I'm just interested to see what their involvement was and all of that. Like, why are they so guilty? So I guess as far as like storytelling purposes, they still have made me interested. I think this
Yeah.
episode was a long episode about little.
Yeah, it was a long,
I'm
drawn
looking
out.
for,
Like
I'm looking
lesbo
forward to next
fucking-
episode to get back into it. I just want to like as a final thing from my end. I was reading a lot of people saying that this was going to be the episode to like kill Star Wars, as if it's not already kind of dead anyway. But
No,
I don't even think this is like bad enough to kill the show. I don't think enough fucking happened that would warrant like any of that reaction. I just felt like it wasted 40 minutes of my life, and
no,
I look forward to next week.
I'll say that the first not 40 minutes, but the first 50% of the episode, I was like, this doesn't even feel like Star Wars. You know what I mean? It didn't feel Star Warsy to me. It feels like weird witchy movie. I don't know why. I mean, well, obviously I know why. It's all fucking witch. They're using the force, but it's like all witchy, weird. You know, it's I don't know. It didn't feel fucking Star Warsy until the Jedi show up. And yeah, and really, I don't know, subtle messages throughout. What's the deal? Okay, so if you get a bunch of women together, right? It's Star Wars universe or not. You get too many women together around each other for too long a period of time, they start to do witchcraft. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Is that how that works?
I guess that is the movie trope.
No, that's how it always goes. It's like you see a bunch of women in a circle, and then all of a sudden, one of them starts floating in the fucking air and doing all kind of crazy shit, and you're like, we don't do that. Have we ever been hanging out of like a bunch of us, and then like a bunch of dudes start floating, and they're like naked and speaking in tongues? And that's never happened hanging out with the boys. Maybe we start like fighting each other or sparring in the living room, but we don't fucking start floating in the
No
air.
nude floating out here. Brad, what's your final thoughts to wrap up this episode?
The episode, like I said earlier, it's like, when people say it's a mega episode for Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like, that's how I feel about origin
Shut up, Meg.
episodes. Yeah, but I mean, the old teaser of the Jedi Wookiee from last week's episode, and then
Yeah.
to skip over it, now we have to wait another week to get
Yeah.
there. Those are the annoying things for me, but a lot of people, are more patient than me. But it held my attention. I'm interested in the story so far. I'm curious to see where it goes and who killed the witches and who the Sith guy is, and I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I
all
want to
of
know
it,
who the
so.
Sith guy is. That's the thing I'm most curious about. Like, because we all have ideas, but you're like, who the fuck is it actually supposed to be?
So,
Well, by God. Well, I guess that'll wrap up this episode. Like, share, subscribe, leave a review or comment or whatever. 5-star review, pretty please, on Spotify. That'd be
and
chef's
Apple
kiss.
Podcast.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah,
if you're
5-star.
new here, I said it last week. I'll say it again. We do longer episodes on Monday at noon, and then we do like little short episodes about kind of just miscellaneous stuff on Wednesdays. Except for while we're doing the Acolyte, I suppose we're probably just going to run those straight through. But hope you guys enjoyed, and that is all.
Well, the only reason we might not do a super awesome on a Sunday or Monday or whatever is because somebody's just shitting his brains out. Farewell. Wait, we gotta wait.